And Tsedal, let's start with you first. Are we finally going to get a clean number here? Is this the time when the kids went back to school in September and people said, OK, we're going back? Or is there still kind of something amiss?
I think the kids going back to school is going to make a difference, but I do think that the Delta variant is very much at play here. It creates the ongoing health fears, and you have the ongoing great resignation, early retirements, inability to hire and retain. That's going to affect a lot of people. Of course, you also have the shortage in terms of supply that then affects the ability to hire the right people at the right time for organizations. There's no leader that I've talked to in the last couple of weeks who's not very concerned about the ability to both hire and retain.
Tom, you said this is the strongest job market you've ever seen in your entire career, right?
Yep.
So what is it? Is this a picture of an incredible demand for workers because everybody needs more workers to fill the demand for their product or whatever it is that's out there? Or is this a supply issue where you can't find enough people because there are still a lot of people who are staying home, who have to take care of kids, who have elderly people they're worried about? What do you think?
Yeah, my belief is that what we have I totally agree that going back to school is a huge plus for the jobs numbers. However, what we're looking at right now is there's still this situation that if a kid comes down with COVID, right, under 12, you talk about it all the time, Becky, that your kids aren't vaccinated yet. And if your kid isn't, if there's a scare of COVID in the classroom or somebody comes down with it and your kid has to be home for 2 weeks, then we have a situation where the parent then has to be home. So we're not going to see the huge job numbers of parents re-entering the workforce yet. My guess is we'll have around 350,000, which is really a solid number. It's just not what everybody gets all hot and bothered by.
What you think, is it another month before we get that number, another 2 months? I mean, vaccinations for kids are coming probably by the beginning of next month.
Yeah, I think that whether it's Halloween, whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's Christmas, we've got to get the kids vaccinated, and then you've got the situation of getting the booster. My guess is that we're going to get into normality in the end of the first quarter next year. We'll see what happens with flu season. There's still a level of anxiety, but companies want their people back. They want to return to office. They really believe that that's the best thing to keep the economy going. Hopefully Washington gets this mess figured out with the debt ceiling. But my guess is come second quarter next year, it's going to look a lot more like 2019 than it is 2020.
Tsedal, you think that's the end of working from home, remote working, or can some of the best and most productive employees still say, no, I like this new reality?
I don't think it's going to be the end of remote working. What I anticipate is that we're going to have a mix of remote and non-remote, kind of this hybrid structure that we've been talking about. And companies have to fully evidence to their workers that they can keep them safe, that they'll have policies and safe buildings for this to truly, truly work. And the workforce and the employment activities might get to the 2020, early 2020 levels, but remote work is not going to go away. It's not going to go away.
Tom, you're not so sure about that, are you?
Well, I think remote work is going to be like casual dress, and what happened 20 years ago, Becky, is we're going to have remote Friday the way we had casual Friday, and you'll get some companies that'll go full remote the way tech companies were flip-flops and shorts, but the majority of companies will have a one-day-a-week remote Fridays that I think will be here for an indefinite period of time, and then you'll get the majority of companies that are 4 days a week in the office, and maybe that flexes a little bit to 3. But we've seen an increase of over 50% of what was purely remote desire for jobs, for companies looking to hire people, said they can be anywhere a year ago. Now that number's decreased by 50%. The companies are saying, we want you to be within a commuting difference to our office.
So you could come in at least a few days a week?
Exactly right. So it used to be anywhere, and little by little, it's inching back. So I think we're really looking hybrid, yes, but not 3, 2, or 50% all the time.